Hey folks, this is Jeff with Wickedoil.com. Today is the 2nd of June 2021. This is the second video in the How to Think, Not What to Think series. Sorry it took me this long to get this out. There's just not enough hours in the day. So anyway, now before we get started, as usual, I'm going to try to keep this short. I would like to say that we don't do Patreon or any of these other things around here. The information that we provide here is completely free of charge. I do ask that if you appreciate what's being presented in our product reviews or like in this series or whatever, go to our website, wickedoil.com. I'll put the address down below, and buy something for your car, your motorcycle, your pickup, your lawnmower, your PWC, or your ATC, or any other acronym you can think of. Anyway, I will be doing some Amsoil product reviews here pretty quick. I have a couple of pretty good ones and a couple of pretty cool testimonies that I think you'll appreciate. But anyway, let's get on to what we're talking about. Now, the first video I was just trying to keep everything kind of a general overview, trying not to get too carried away, because who wants to sit and listen to somebody rambling on for what seems like forever sometimes. I'm not one of those people that just prattles on. At least I try not to. So let's get straight to the point. These days we are dealing with so much crap that's being thrown at us. It can be overwhelming trying to decipher, what's real and what's garbage. So with that said, I think one of the biggest things that we need to learn is that if we're going to be truthful, if we're going to be honest here, about 95% of the things that you're told by pretty much everybody is either an outright lie, or at the very least it's an exaggeration. Okay, now I don't even remember what kind of examples I used in the first video, and I certainly don't want to be repetitive here because that's not going to accomplish anything. But I would like to say that there are things that are true because it's obvious, and then there are things that people believe. Now, in this day and age, we have people believing some things that I consider to be absolute absurdities, like somebody claiming that they're non-binary. For a guy to claim that he's not actually a guy, I bet if I grab you by your balls, I bet you will come to the realization real quick that you're a guy. Okay? Now, I'm not saying you can't be one of the men, or I hate to use that term, one of the guys that, or for that matter, a girl, and your internal chemistry is slightly off, or maybe it's a whole lot off. Now, I buy into that, certainly. Of all the millions and millions and millions of people, well, what are they saying? There's like 7 billion people on the face of the earth now, and growing. There's bound to be, I hate to call you oddities, but there's bound to be some oddities in the nature of humanity. Okay, there's bound to be. It's not bound to be. There is. I've met women that are rather masculine. I've met women that have whiskers and chest hair, and things like that. And obviously, they have more testosterone than is what would be considered, normal, whatever normal is. And I've met plenty of guys that are, I don't believe them to be gay, but they're obviously, they lean more towards the feminine side of the spectrum, if you will. I mean, maybe they are gay. Who knows? Or maybe, I don't know. Who cares? I mean, I don't judge anybody for being what they are, whether they choose to be that or whether they're predisposed to it. I don't care. As long as you don't try to force it on me, I don't care. This is America. My belief is that as long as you're not infringing upon the rights of someone else, dude, you can claim to be the Easter Bunny. I don't care. But anyway, one of the, and this is a hot topic if I even talk about this. It's like this Black Lives Matter thing. That's a campaign. Okay, just like the Me Too movement and women's rights and men's rights and special rights for gay people and special rights for, I don't know, shouldn't we have special rights for fat people? I could jump in on that one. I mean, if we're gonna claim certain sects, not sex, sects, sectors of our population deserve special recognition and stuff like that, then can't every sect in our population claim such a thing? And if that's the case, then everybody's got special rights. And I think we should all just have reasonable rights, is what I think. Okay? And why am I saying all this? Basically because when we hear this nonsense that goes on, this biased opinion from certain people or certain groups that want special rights or special recognition or whatever, it's like gay people. Now you've got it. You can go get married. The state will recognize your marriage and give you a license and all that other stuff, to which, if we're going to think logically about this, the question is, why do you want to get permission from the state to get married? You don't need permission from the state. Okay? If you look back in history, licenses or permits, as there actually are, to get married is a thing that happened right after the Civil War, when the slaves were freed, and there were white people and black people and wanting to get married, and the society wasn't quite ready for that yet. So there was also black people that were like, hey, if we're free now, if we're not slaves anymore, then we want to have guns because we want to be able to protect ourselves, and I don't know, maybe we want to go shoot some white people, I don't know. Okay, so they came up with these licenses for certain things, to interracial marriages, for these former slaves, check them out and see if, let me look into your eyes and see if you look like you're going to be a menace with the gun if we give you a permit. I don't know. What do you think, Bill? But again, why are you seeking permission from the state, federal government, to get married when you don't need their permission? Marriage is just a contract. It's a written contract, man. That's all it is. That's what common law marriage is a contract. It's where two people decide to commit themselves to each other as man and wife, or I guess these days man and man, or woman and woman. And you get some witnesses together and you write it down in a book, and you're married. Now, is it easier to do it the state approved way and get their permission and let the state become a superior third party in your union? Well, yeah, there's some advantages to doing it the easy way. But then again, You're making the state a superior third party in your union. And then the state, when there's a conflict, the state can step in and say, oh no, you made us in charge. We're the boss here. Okay? You have some kids, you know, even if they're not your biological kids, if you go through the state and get, adopt some kids, then the state is a superior third party in this arrangement. And then you're a subservient to them, well, pretty much forever then. So you have to think things through. You have to use your brain. You have to actually stop accepting that which you're told as the truth and verify what is the truth before you accept it as the gospel truth. Because again, about 95% of the things that you're told, and I would go on to say that 95% of the things that you hold as being true, right, just, correct, settled, unquestionable, I mean, fill in the blank, okay? It's malarkey, okay? It's nonsense. And this is one, I probably used this in the first video, but I'm going to use it again because it's a good example here. The sky. You think the sky is blue? It's not. The sky, if the sky were anything other than translucent, the sky would be black because we're looking through the atmosphere into space, okay? And space is black, not because that's the particular color of space, it's because it's the absence of light, okay? So you can say it's black or some shade of black, or just say that it's dark, okay? But here's the deal. When the sun radiates the radiation towards the earth, which is the light that we see, when it strikes the atmosphere, there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, and the light strikes those little tiny droplets of water that are suspended in our ozone, basically, in our upper atmosphere, and it hits it, and it just like, well, hold up a glass of water and look through the clear glass and the image is distorted. Well, that's because the light hits it and disperses at different angles. Well, that's what happens. And since water has a certain frequency to it, a certain hue, which lends itself towards a light blue kind of color, or what we call a frequency that we have set as a standard set and said that this particular hue is blue, it makes the sky appear to be blue to us. But actually what we're seeing is the radiation, the light radiation, that is hitting the moisture and dispersing and creating this kind of like the sheet behind me hanging. It's a certain color or a certain hue, okay? Let's see. Here's a good one. Everything that you think is solid actually isn't, okay? It's like I have a table here, and it feels solid. I knocked on it, but that's because of the particular arrangement of electrons that make up the table, okay? This shirt, it's dark gray, light gray, red, blue, white, okay? These are all frequencies, okay? They are arrangements of atoms in a particular order that creates this, I'll say, illusion, okay? And that's fine. I'm not knocking it. I'm just recognizing it for what it is, okay? Your friend, how about this one? Your friend is telling, your best friend, okay? You're talking to your best friend, and they tell you a story, and you instantly recognize, okay? Now, you may or may not say anything about that, but you recognize it, okay? Um, it's like my daughter when she was a child. She tried to convince me and her mother that she had watched a kid stand next to the building at school and just leap onto the roof. And I don't know what the schools really look like these days because I don't pay attention to them anymore. But back then, your average school building, is minimum of about 20 feet tall. So the idea that somebody would just went and leaped, with a single bound, okay. But boy, she was so upset because I didn't believe her. Anyway, here's my point. If you're listening to the news, it's no wonder you're confused. Okay? If you attend the mind control institutes we commonly refer to as the public school system, it's no wonder you're confused. If you are listening to uneducated people about anything, it's no wonder you're confused, okay? And I'm not knocking you for it. I spent, 36 years being confused about reality because I didn't have enough information to go on. But here's what I'm going to tell you. If you will stop accepting the nonsense, and this includes when somebody says something that is just obviously wrong, you don't have to, make an argument out of it and tell them they're wrong. But if they're telling you something and trying to get you to nod yes in agreement or something like that, it might be good to just say, I'm not saying that isn't true. I'm saying that it sounds a little far-fetched. Now, I'm saying this because maybe I just don't have enough information, okay? But here's a good one. This guy was telling me one time he had found out that I play the guitar, and he asked me to play something. So I pulled out my guitar and I'm playing away, and he's telling me about this guy, man. He says this guy was such a hot player, man. This guy was playing one night, and he says, dude, he was playing so hard, dude, the strings just caught on fire. And I said, okay. And he goes, no, man, I'm serious. And I said, so you're telling me that he was playing along and all of a sudden the strings just spontaneously burst into flame? And he says, yes. And I said, dude, you're full of shit. Okay? Give me a break. Okay? Now, I get it. You were really impressed with this dude, and he was, musically kicking ass and taking names, okay? But come on, man. And he goes, no, dude, I'm serious. And this guy wanted to argue with me, and I said, okay. Whatever, dude. Okay? But tell me, is there really any difference between that story and somebody trying to tell you that, I don't know, that Joe Biden is a great president? I mean, come on, man. Here's something that you can work on. And I'm not trying to get you to believe one way or the other. I'm asking you to step back and think about what I'm going to tell you. When Obama was in office, we were told from every angle, oh, he's just the greatest thing since sliced bread. I mean, this guy is just absolutely frickin' wonderful, okay? And the guy could talk, okay? He had great charisma in his talking. But like 99.9% of all politicians, he could run his mouth for 2 hours straight and not say a damn thing. Nothing of substance. And I defy you to pull up a single video of his where he's talking, where he actually says something of any substance. I mean, put in the comments below. I'll watch it. And I mean, dude, if he says something of substance, I'll be the first to say, I was wrong. I missed that one. Okay? Joe Biden. Well, you're not going to find one where he says anything of substance because his His dialogue is all about inflammatory statements. Dude, he is all about arousing your emotions and getting you um, to buy into his bullshit. Okay, there's no other way to put it. Okay, because that's what he's doing. Now, if you think about it, there's a lot of people that hate President Trump, and if you're honest about it, with nobody in the room, nobody looking at you, nobody there to go, oh, you're one of them, or anything like that. You hate that man because you were told to hate him. Okay? That's why you hate him. And now, President Trump is a rich playboy. Okay? He's loud, he's obnoxious, he's he's self-centered. He's and I mean he has a right to, man. The guy's accomplished quite a bit. I mean, this guy is a money man. And if you're honest, and again, I'm not trying to get you to like President Trump. I'm just pointing out some facts here. If you're honest about it, that guy made the economy a lot better. I mean, hell, before he was even in office, the economy started going up. Why? Because they were like, dude, we got somebody in here that gives a shit. You know? So, and as soon as he was out of office, what happened? Gas prices started shooting up. You know? They're already, this jackass that's in there now, he's already trying to get, the old stuff back in place. And it's like, why? It wasn't good for the country. That's why President Trump was getting rid of it, okay? But again, it doesn't matter which one you believe in. I'm not asking you to believe in anything particular. What I'm asking you to do is, before you take information and just start, playing the old, oh yeah, and chiding along with the rest of those that are telling you what to think and what to chide about, if you just stop and go, wait a minute, does this make sense? Is what this person's saying, does it make sense? I mean, do I really want a society where government tells me what to think? Media, when the media tells me what to think? And I mean, think about the media, man. Dude, it is hard to find anybody in the mainstream media that's telling anything that even resembles the truth. But anyway, I'm at 22 minutes and, 22 and a half minutes, and that's way overboard. I'm going to make another video, but I want you to pay attention. This is important, man. Okay? I'm trying to shoot this from the hip because when I try to follow notes, I don't know, it just comes off too mechanical, man. So, but anyway, that's enough for this video. I'll put up another one. Thank you very much for watching, if you made it this far. And again, if you appreciate what's being shared, or if you don't appreciate it, come over there and buy some Amsoil products from Wickedoil.com and show me how much you hate me. Anyway, thanks. Bye.